Hope and I decided to build a tiny home for a homeless guy. But we didn't have unlimited funds, so we came up with the idea of building the tiniest tiny home that would be super lightweight that you can pull with a bike. So we went to Lowe's, picked out a bunch of stuff and paid with money, then went to a used bike shop and picked up this little bike so we can use the wheels for the trailer. Building a tiny home out of 2x4s and plywood wasn't going to cut it because a bicycle just can't handle that much weight. After doing some research, I found out you can use foam for most of it to keep it nice and lightweight. So I started off by cutting some 2x4s because these will work as a frame for the trailer. And once I had all my pieces cut out, I started to take off the tires from the bike that we purchased. The front tire was a breeze to take off, but the back tire took a little more time because it was rusted. And the tires was the only thing we needed off the bike, so it was pretty straightforward. And a little flippity flip, but now that the tires are taken off and the frame is cut out, I put all the pieces out on the ground to see how it would look. The outside of the trailer is going to be made out of 2x4s and the inside is going to be made out of 2x2 inch slats. This way it'll be sturdy, but it'll be really lightweight so you can pedal this thing up and down hills with no problem. We pre-drilled the 2x4s, then screwed them together using 1.5 inch decking screws. And don't get on me too much for working on the ground, guys. I live out of my camper van and I only have limited resources and I'm doing my best. But the next step was to evenly space out the 2x2 inch wooden support slats, then pre-drill the holes before screwing it in. I spaced out the support slats 10 inches apart because the floor is going to be made out of insulation and I wanted to make sure that it has enough support. And again, I'm using 1.5 inch decking screws to screw the whole frame together. And just how I read online, this thing is super lightweight. I don't think anyone's going to have trouble riding this thing up and down hills. But while I take a water break, be sure to click that subscribe button if you support the channel. But now that I'm hydrated and the bike frame is put together, I had to figure out a way to connect the wheels to the frame. So I picked up some sheet metal, cut it into 4 pieces with my metal grinder, and traced the wheel fork from the old bike to get the measurement I need so I can notch it out. Until it basically looked like this, and my favorite part about using the metal grinder is that I was using the electricity from the solar panels of my camper van the entire time. But I then measured and screwed in the metal brackets into the frame, which was pretty challenging to do because we had to make sure the metal brackets were perfectly centered, if not the wheel won't fit properly. And before moving on to the other side, we gave it a quick test to make sure it fit properly, and thank God it did. But then we moved on and did the exact same thing on the other side, and at this point I wish I had a couple of sawhorses to keep this thing off the ground because my back was killing me. I ended up using 1-inch pocket hole screws to screw in the metal brackets because the 1.5 inch decking screws were just way too long and they would go right through the wood. And now that the frame is put together and the metal brackets are put on, it was time to install the wheels. I used the same nuts that the wheels came with and screwed them together using a 15mm socket. Then gave the trailer its official first test drive and ran around the parking lot like a horse carrying a chariot, but don't judge me. But now that the trailer passed my chariot test, it was time to start building the walls, ceiling, and floor. For the walls, we're using 4x8 sheets of foam board from Owens, and you can find this at your Home Depot or Lowe's. We're cutting the walls out to be 6 feet long and 3 feet tall because that's the size of the trailer. And to cut it, you basically use a box cutter, then snap the back of it and it just pops off. Then I took the existing wall that I already cut out, put it over a new sheet and cut that out as well so I can have 2 walls. And when I first read that you can use foam board to build micro trailers, it completely blew my mind because I didn't think it would be structural enough. But after doing a little more research, it makes complete sense because it'll make sure that the trailer is nice and lightweight. So we then started to screw in the 3-inch foam walls into the trailer using big head screws to make sure that it grips the foam. We installed the walls and the floor using 3-inch foam and the roof was made out of 2-inch foam. And once the walls and the floor was put together, I gave it a little test to make sure it can hold my weight. Then we measured out the roof, cut it out, and got it installed. And once the entire trailer was put together, we got this $15 roll of waterproof duct tape and taped all the seams together to make sure that it would be nice and reinforced and waterproof. This foam was actually really easy to work with and only took us about 6.5 hours to build the entire trailer from start to finish. We taped the entire outside and the inside, then gave it another test ride around the parking lot, and at this point, the neighbors were looking at me like if I was an idiot. We also decided to cut 2 holes, one on each side for air vents before painting it. That is, if I can open the damn can first. But then I went crazy painting the entire trailer using this all-purpose matte gray spray paint. We decided to paint the trailer a lighter color because it gets really hot here in Bakersfield, California, and as we all know, darker colors attract heat. But while I finished painting the trailer, Hope took a journey to buy some supplies that we can give away with the trailer. Now it's officially the next day, and it was time to wrap up with the finishing touches, like adding on some vents and adding on the arm that will connect the trailer to the bicycle. We did end up picking up a bicycle, and unfortunately we weren't able to film the process, but here it is. And after all the hard work, I was finally able to give this tiny home trailer a test ride. And it ran really nice. I can't wait to give it away.
So I went to Walmart and I picked up a bunch of goodies for the person. We have a propane burner stovetop so that way he can cook. A little travel pillow, ramen of course, easy to make, propane for the propane stovetop, gallon of water, and a bunch of food, also a little sleeping bag pad, that way it can be a little extra comfortable in there. Pack of socks, cotton hand set.
Guys, so the craziest thing just happened. We just finished up with the trailer and we were just cleaning everything up, and some guy came up to us asking us questions about the bike, and it turns out that he's homeless. So I told him we're gonna hook him up. So he's right up like on the corner over there. So we're gonna go find him and we're gonna hook him up with this thing. So let's go. Hey, what up, man? So you're the guy who obviously just came up to us and was asking us questions about a bike. I'm Manny, by the way. Good to meet you. So we built this tiny home. We got a bike and we want to hook you up with it, man. You seem like a good guy. Put 2 little vents on the side, and then on the inside we got you like a pillow. There's a sleeping bag in there. There's a propane stovetop, some ramen noodles, water, some more food in the bag, some socks and all that good stuff. Yeah, no problem at all, dude. Buy the sun. If it fits you, you can have it. Fits? Here, take them. Yeah. Bro, God bless you, man. Nothing happens for a reason. You walked over there for a reason, you know what I mean? We were about to go out and look for somebody who needed this, and just the fact that you walked over there, I was like, this shit happens for a reason. God is 100% real. Yeah. Well, that has a little bit of blue in it. All right, bro? So, yo, be safe, man, all right? God bless you, man. Guys, helping people out feels so damn good. We plan on making many more videos like this. Shout out to Mary Beth, Culinary Misfits, and Milky for donating to make this happen. Make sure to click the link in the description below. We set up an entire GoFundMe so we can keep helping people in need. But now I'm gonna go get a new pair of shoes. Peace.